All right, we are doing 6.1 lesson video B. So the next one, first of all, we have to factor them and then reduce the fraction. So let's go to this one. First of all, let me scoot this over just a little bit. We want to write this in lowest terms. Now, sometimes you need to manipulate it to make it easier for you. So if I had something like, let's say, x minus 3, and I was to multiply this whole thing by -1, that would be negative x plus 3, right? So these two here are actually equivalent. These two here are actually equivalent. -1 times x is negative x. -1 times -3 is a positive 3. So if you notice, I have an x squared minus 5, and then I have a positive 5 minus z squared. Sorry, that is totally z, not x. I have a z squared minus 5, and then I have a 5 minus z squared. So my z is actually negative in the denominator, and in the denominator, and then the 5 is positive in the denominator. And so sorry, hang on one second. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to manipulate that. I'm going to multiply this. So by multiplying by a -1, I'm going to get -5. I'm going to multiply this times this, and I'm going to get a positive z squared. So in reality, I get z squared minus 5. Now, what you need to do is just show the -1 on the outside. So if I go ahead and rewrite this as -1 times z squared minus 5. In reality, -1 times z squared is negative z squared. -1 times -5 is a positive 5. So in reality, this is all the same thing as this. Now I'm going to copy what's in the numerator. Okay. Now, look what happens. Let me see if I can make that skinnier. Let's see. All right. So now what happens is this cancels out with this, and it goes into each other once. So you end up with 1 over -1, which is -1. And that would be your answer. All right. So you can manipulate these to help you simplify it further. Now, if the numerator and the denominator of irrational expressions are opposites of each other, such as x minus y over y minus x, then the rational expression is equal to -1. And I just showed you how to do that. Okay? All right, so let's do some of these problems. All right. So let's go ahead here. Now, the y is positive, the y is negative. The 5 is negative, the 5 up here is positive. They are opposites of each other. I don't even have to prove anything. I can just say -1. Now, this one here, I do have to factor it. First of all, I can square root 25x squared. I can square root 16. There's a subtraction sign between them. That is known as a difference of squares, which means I get 5x plus 4 and 5x minus 4. Okay? Now in the bottom here, I'm left with, they both share a 3, so I'm going to factor out a 3. And I get 4 minus 5x. So here's something a little tricky. I've got a positive 4 here, and I have a negative 4 here. I have a negative 5x here and a positive 5x here. These are actually opposites of each other. So what I could do is I could cancel these two out, and I would make it a -1. So I would end up with negative 5x plus 4 over 3. And you're finished. You got it done. All right? Now, same thing here. This is a little different though. because I have a 9 minus k and I have a 9 plus k. They're both not opposites of each other. They must both be opposites of each other. There is absolutely nothing I can do with this problem to make them look exactly the same so that I can simplify them. So in this case, I just leave it alone. Alrighty? So that's that one. Let's go to the next page. Now, it says, write 4 equivalent forms of the rational expression. There are 4 ways to write this. The first way is by putting the negative sign up in the numerator. So you see how they have just negative times 2x minus 7 all over x plus 3. Now, if they actually distributed the negative sign, they would have gotten negative 2x plus 7, because negative 2x is a negative 2x. Negative times a negative 7 is a positive 7. And then the denominator, of course, stays the same. I could also have put the negative in the denominator. If you notice, the numerator is just the same thing, 2x minus 7, and the denominator is x plus 3, but I have the negative in the denominator. So my numerator stays the same, but I distribute this. So I get a negative x and I get a negative 3. So that's how you could write it 4 different ways. Let's see if we have another problem to do. No, we don't. That's it. So I will see you on the next lesson. Have a great day.